Hello again, this is Sandra Hart. I am so happy that you decided to join me today, and I'm going to have an update on things that are happening in my life, and we're going to talk about a few other things too. It's been quite a week for me, and actually it's been quite a month for me. A lot of changes and a lot of things have happened, as you know. But in reading my wonderful comments, I want to first of all thank all of you for being so supportive of the changes that are happening in my life right now. I absolutely probably could not have gotten through this as well without your understanding, comments, and support. And in reading my comments, I was very struck by one of my subscribers and what she said. She said, we can't live others' desires. We certainly can be supportive. And perhaps, I will add, perhaps we should be slower to judge and quicker to understand those things that we cannot see. But I want to thank her very much. I'm not mentioning her name because maybe she wants to stay private, but I really thought that a lot of your comments were so heartfelt and just really meant a lot to me. But now an update on what is happening with Arthur. Well, you know that I do have a nurse looking in on him a couple of times a week and friends who see him every single day, and I speak with him on the phone at least twice a day. He is wearing his safety device, thank heavens. But we have come to a decision together, Arthur and I. We have decided to keep the apartment. I think the stress, once he went back to New York and found that all of these things were safe, I think the stress at his age, at 95, of getting rid of things that bring happiness to him, that have a lot of memories attached to them and financial benefits attached to them, it was just absolutely too difficult for him at this stage, even though he would have help from all of his family. So I think that by keeping the apartment, it relieves him of the stress of having to make choices in his life to eliminate things that mean a lot to him. And I think that has helped him a great deal. And in a way, it has helped us too, because it takes the stress off of us of going up there and trying to pick and choose and get rid of things, and the burden of eliminating of all that that he has around him. So this really has been, I think, a great decision for all of us. He is happy. The children and I are happy, and it's all good. Arthur is going to be coming back probably in a couple of months. He just wants to be there to have his comfort zone. Because in all of the 65 years that Arthur's had that apartment, every summer he's gone back to that apartment. So it's only during COVID, this year and a half, that he has not been able to go back there. And that apartment represents part of his life that really is so important. But he is coming back in a couple of months, and my son is going to go up there and bring him home. So that is all good news. And in the meantime, my daughter from Chicago, who has retired, she has psoriatic arthritis, a very terrible autoimmune illness. And she left Chicago and was visiting with her sister in Lexington, Kentucky for a while. But she has decided that she really wants to relocate to Miami, where the weather is warmer and it will help her with her illness a lot. So she is going to be coming down here, and I'm going to be helping her relocate and find a place down here. So we have an awful lot on our agenda. But I think allowing Arthur time in his space in New York to enjoy his surroundings of things that have a lifetime of meaning for him, it really is very important, because if he is happy, the rest of us are happy as well. Well, you know, about 7 months ago, during COVID, I made a video of all the things during COVID that I realized that I didn't want to do anymore, or that I didn't have to do anymore. Sort of minimalizing and downsizing my life and doing things that I know that I'm capable of doing myself. Well, one of those things was grooming Sophie. Because as I said in that video, Sophie always stiff-legged me. Every time I took her to the groomer, she didn't want to go, and I had to practically drag her in. She's too heavy for me to pick up, but I had to drag her in, and I always felt so sorry for her when she went to the groomers. So that I decided during COVID, I bought a grooming kit, that Sophie and I would have some mommy and me time, and I would groom her. Well, that worked out for a while. But with everything else going on in my life, all of a sudden, I had so many tasks to do that it became almost too much for me to be able to lift her up, put her on the table, groom her, give her a bath. I mean, it's a lot of work. Even though she was much happier, after a while it got to be really something, a burden for me in a way, hard. At my age, I'm not 40 years old anymore. So I looked and I thought, and then I started researching groomers, mobile groomers. And one day I remember walking on the street, or when Arthur and I were going out for a little breakfast, I saw a grooming van and it said, Happy Tails. And I thought, wow, I never thought about that. And I talked to the groomer who was on there, and she gave me her card. So I called the other day, and I made an appointment, crossing my fingers, for Sophie to be groomed, because she really hasn't been professionally groomed in, well, almost a year and a half. So that's a long time for me to be taking on that task. And do you know what? I called the groomer, made the appointment. They came, they picked her up, walked her down to the van, which was just across the street. And in an hour and a half, I had her back. I didn't have to drive anywhere. I didn't have to drag her out of the car and have her shake and be so fearful. And she came back and she was really, really happy. Finally, I've changed my mind. Of all the things that I said I wasn't going to do during COVID, that's the one thing that I have decided that I am not going to do anymore. And I made another appointment for her in 6 weeks. And she enjoyed the experience. The woman with the grooming was just so sweet and nice. And she did a really good job. I had her taken down maybe more than I would have, so that we can start fresh with her and growing her out. But I'll show you her in just a minute. She's sleeping right now down here in her bed. But anyway, those are things that I really did change my mind. So in a way, I know a lot of you, and I've been seeing in the news, a lot of you in Europe and are being locked down again, and so many parts where in the world where COVID is rising its nasty head again. I think, unfortunately, that COVID, even though it's worse than the flu, is probably going to be like the flu, that every year we are going to have to get some kind of a booster shot to protect us if we don't already have good immunity against COVID. I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe that this probably is going to be our new normal. It is something that we're just going to have to accept in our lives and to go on with our lives. We really can't be in this fearful mode all the time. We have to be cautious and careful and follow the rules that our doctors tell us to. But I really believe that it's time for us in this new normal, and I do believe it's going to be our new normal for a long time, that we're just going to have to accept it and get along in our lives and accept this new normal that we are living in right now. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about today, this is going to be just a short little video, is that I've been watching YouTube, of course, and I watch all of my wonderful mature women here in the beauty community. And on Wednesday, I watched one of my dearest friends, Nathalie of Nathalie, the Beauty Diva, and she is doing a holiday gift suggestion segment, and there are 2 parts. And she has given us such wonderful, wonderful ideas about giving for Christmas and even for birthdays if you want, but really, really great ideas. And she is going to do a segment, a second segment, so it's number 1 and number 2. But because I don't do those kind of videos, I'm kind of over buying things for myself, but that's another video that I'm putting up the following week. So I wish all of you would go over and visit Nathalie. I'm going to put the link below to this particular video. So if you have any questions about what you want to give to people this year for Christmas, or maybe even you want to gift yourself, please go over and watch Nathalie's video, because she is, number 1, such a beautiful and terrific person, and really knows an awful lot about makeup. She really does. She does beautiful, beautiful get ready with me's. But go visit her and get a lot of inspiration on what perhaps gifts that you might want, unusual gifts, and gifts that will really be appreciated that you might want to give for Christmas. Now I'm going to wake up Sophie and let you see what the groomer did to her. Okay, here's Sophie. Are you happy, Sophie, with your new haircut? Huh? She has a little mustache, not a really great big one, but a little mustache. And she was very happy when she came home from the groomers, weren't you? When you walked across the street, because she was in her own neighborhood. She didn't have to go someplace strange. And we're going to let her grow out just a little bit, and so that she gets a bigger mustache. But, you know, she's blind now. Sophie is completely blind, so she likes to be around places where she uses her senses. She can use her smell. Don't you, Sophie? All right. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. I wish everyone who celebrates in this country Thanksgiving have a very happy Thanksgiving. And for the rest of you, I do hope that you will do something wonderful for yourself this week. Have a wonderful week. Be kind to whomever crosses your path. And let's not forget that we have to start living again. We have to start really enjoying this new normal that we are in probably for years to come. So take care, and thank you again for all of your support. And I hope to see you soon.